Welcome back, everybody, to Driver Stories. Today we have with us a man who's been everywhere, Al Washington. Today I thought we'd talk a little about the day in the life of a truck driver, and with that, let's jump into it. All right, well, we're back to the podcast again, and this afternoon we have with us Al Washington.
Yes.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad
I'm
to
very
have you.
glad to be here. Thank you.
So today I thought we'd take the opportunity to talk to you first off about your background and how you got into trucking, because everybody's always different with their path. And then after that, I thought we'd take time just to talk about a day in the life of what it is to be a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's start off. Where'd you grow up?
Chicago, Illinois.
Were you born in Chicago?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
The west side, yeah.
West side?
West side of Chicago.
Okay. Is that where you live today?
No. South suburbs, closer to Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I can't do the city life no more. It's just too loud for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what did your parents do for a living?
My father was in the Navy. He retired from the Navy after 23 years.
Wow.
They was divorced. My mother, post office.
She was the post office?
Yes.
Yeah.
Been with the post office for 27 years.
Wow. Is she still working there?
She's still working there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but Caitlin, our HR director, both of her parents worked for the post office.
Really?
Yeah, 30 years. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So you're born in Chicago. You went to high school in Chicago?
I went to high school a little bit in Chicago. I went to go live with my father overseas. He was stationed in Rota, Spain at the time. So,
wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
I finished off there. Oh, love it.
You loved it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It broadened my horizons. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the only country that you lived in when you were with your dad?
Yes, but that's not the only country that I visited while I was there.
Okay.
You know, I went to Italy, Germany, Africa, you know.
Wow.
Went over there to England. Yeah.
Yeah, so did you get to see everything over there? Like
yeah.
all the historical sites?
Everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yep. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. Neither one of them went to go.
Oh, they didn't?
Oh, you're right.
It was just you with your dad?
Just me, yep.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, did you live with your dad over there? But he wasn't on a ship or anything?
Right. That he was only stationed over there at the time.
Okay.
So he just had overseas duty to do.
Okay.
Right. So I stayed over there for about 2.5 years with him.
Wow. Did you go to a bullfight?
No.
No.
I just couldn't get into that. No.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
I wouldn't be able to do it either, but my gosh, they're huge over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the arrows and they just throw everything at them. Yeah, I just couldn't get with it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't my cup of tea at the time.
Right.
But other things I did, you know, a lot of festivals, carnivals are real big over there. Just the whole culture. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Good.
I love it.
Are you going to go back and visit?
I want to. Yeah. That was like right around the time that the Olympics went over there up in Seville.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. I went to that.
Okay.
Yeah. All over Spain, Madrid, Seville, Jerez. Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
So my roommate in college, her dad was in the Air Force and he was stationed in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get to visit Portugal?
My father visited there often because of his job, but I never went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you finished high school in Spain?
Yes.
Or you did?
Yep.
And then came back to the United States?
Yep.
And then what'd you do?
I did a year of college.
Okay.
I went to Morris Brown. I went to Moby in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And, you know, I redshirted in football.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, overseas, I was great. You know.
Right.
Because the talent was limited. Now that I'm back here and I'm in college, you know, everybody runs fast just like me, no matter what size you are.
Right.
So you had guys that were 6'8", 400 pounds that can keep up with me running. Whole different ballpark. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played, and then after that, I just came back to Chicago,
Okay.
got a job,
And your first job was doing what?
Life Source, the competitor of Red Cross.
Okay.
I did that. Worked in the lab, uh, testing blood, discarding it, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I got into electrician work, and then after that, trucking. Yeah.
So how'd you get into trucking?
Um, the electrician work was it fell apart for me,
Okay.
and my grandfather at the time he suggested that I should go ahead and do that, which I grew up looking at him and them big rigs that he used to always come around in. He drove for JB Hunt and a couple of more private trucking companies.
Sure.
Never tankers though, just always dry vans.
Okay.
So I've been, I rode with him like once or twice when he had some local stops to do. And then after that, it just, I fell in love with it, I got tired of working at Life Source too, just being in front of a computer all day, every day. I just couldn't do that type of work.
Yeah.
So this way I can explore a little bit more.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. So did you go to truck driving school?
Yes, I did.
Which school did you go
The
to?
name of the truck driving school was Midwest Trucking, I believe. Midwest Trucking
Okay.
in Chicago.
12-week, 10-week, something like that, right?
It was at your own pace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one was at your own pace. I finished it in 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have a job right away, right out of school?
No, it took me about 6-7 months to get a job.
No kidding.
Yeah. First job was with Banner Wholesale, and they put me in a truck, gave me keys, and told me to drive to Pennsylvania.
That was it?
Yeah, I said I've never been over 25 miles per hour. I don't even know how to shift. I don't even know how to fill out a logbook. It was, but they put me in the truck and told me to go.
And you went?
And I went with a TomTom GPS. And that was it. I couldn't afford the trucker GPS, but they told me to go.
Uh-huh.
I said, my God.
What have I gotten myself into, right?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get acclimated then? Did you talk to other drivers? Did you?
My grandfather had helped me out a lot.
He did?
Yeah, I called him up and he was like, hold on, grandson, let me get my map book out. He's not with us no more. And, just helped me out, told me like which road to take, everything that he did.
Sure.
And that's part of the reason why I get up early today and start work, because he told me that he used to get up like around 1-2 o'clock in the morning and then go out there just to go find a customer. Mm-hmm. So I took that on, and I still get up at 1-2 o'clock in the morning to go. So
wow.
Same thing.
That sounds miserable, actually.
1-2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Do you go to bed early?
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 6-7 o'clock.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I get a lot of thinking done.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Get a lot of thinking done. Listen to a podcast, audiobooks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's gonna call or interrupt you. Scale's not open. Just go.
Yeah. Huh. Let's skip gears here and let's just talk about what your day looks like. So it starts at 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you just get up and just get in the truck and drive? I mean, how do you start your day and plan it?
I walk around the truck lot once or twice. Take my multivitamins, cup of coffee, things like that. And then I call in a dispatch, let them know what time I'm going to be there to load or at the customer. Try to give them like a ETA. And I just start my day, yeah.
So you get up, you walk around the truck. How do you know where you're going?
Call in dispatch.
Call in dispatch.
Yep.
So let's just say you're empty,
Mm-hmm.
and you call in dispatch. Do you always get the same person?
Not all the time, no.
Yeah. And there are certain ones you like getting and certain ones you don't.
Certain ones that I like, some ones that I try to avoid. Yeah.
Okay. You ever hang up the phone and call back and see if you get somebody else?
Never did that. I never did that because they got call ID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, they do. They know who it is.
Yeah, they know. I never did that. I just I try to befriend everyone. You know.
Yes.
So I crack a joke. How's your night? How's your morning? Had your coffee yet? And then I always be like, hey, so where you got me going? Things like that. So depending on the feedback, like how far to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they talk and engage or whether they just kind of
Exactly.
all business. I'm sure you have a whole bunch of different personalities
Yep.
you talk to every day.
Sometimes a lot of them are just all business. They don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then that's when you be like, yeah, I know I'm finna go somewhere far now. Yeah.
So you call in a dispatch and then you head over to load, right?
Yep.
So do they send you the same place every time?
Not every time, depending on who you're running for.
Yeah.
Meaning which plant you're running for. So I guess Wisconsin covers a broad scale of customers.
Right.
So you got Chicago, Milwaukee, Iowa, Minnesota, some parts, So, but there's still customers that I've never been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the plants where you load, so when you go up to a plant, is it always CO2 plants? Because you haul CO2, we didn't talk about that, but most of the time the CO2 plants come off a feed source. And some of the facilities are nice and some are not so nice, right?
Yeah, true.
But the first time that you go to a new plant, is it usually gated? I mean, do you have to have a gate code to get in? How do you guys?
A lot of them are locked down, and it's a doorbell.
It's a doorbell.
Yeah.
And so you ring the doorbell and you say, "Hey, I'm here to load." And
yeah.
Do you go in and introduce yourself to the plant manager? I mean, how does that usually work out?
Whenever I go to a new plant, I always wait to go there until the plant manager is there so I can introduce myself. Different plants have different rules.
Okay.
So, I just try to just keep everyone happy.
Sure.
So they can get used to my face and know my name.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go through all of the procedures right. I don't want nobody to point the finger up at me if something mess up. So I like to hear straight from the plant manager's mouth what his expectations are.
Okay.
And then I just follow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go load, do you have to go in and get your paperwork first, or do you always just pull onto the scale and?
You pull onto the scale, hook up,
Yep.
and then from there you can punch in your employee number, get your weight, and then you can start loading, and then you can go ahead and get the paperwork and see where you're going. Fingers crossed, because sometimes logistics don't tell you where you're going, so it's gonna be a surprise, So you just pick it up and you just take your breath and you turn the page over and see where you're going, and hopefully that is somewhere good.
Yeah.
But regardless on what it is that the work's going to get done.
Right. When you are loading, how do you? I mean, these are questions I think about. How do you know when you're done? How do you know when the trailer's filled?
The weight is on the
Does
wall.
it just stop automatically?
No, ma'am. You gotta stop
You gotta stop it.
Bump. Yeah.
So you're watching the wall.
Yep. You're watching that number keep going up and up and
Okay.
up, and once you get to like 75.9, 75, 79.5, 79.6, that's when I normally stop it.
Okay. And does it stop right away?
No, it probably add on like an extra 100.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just punch in your numbers and get your scale sheet,
Okay.
and then run back out there, close off everything, and disconnect, and you're off. You're ready.
You're ready.
You're ready.
And how long does it take to load one of those trailers?
About 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the time you hook up, or is that just fill time?
No, from start to finish, from me pulling onto the scale
Yeah.
and me pulling off.
Okay.
About anywhere in between 45 to an hour 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's normal.
Yeah. So most of the time, though, are you waiting to get on the scale, or is most of the time?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of plants only have one bait to load on.
Okay.
Some got two.
Yeah.
But,
So you just line up,
yep, just line up one after another. Yep.
and as soon as that person's done, they're off the scale, and on you go.
And then you pull on right behind them.
Okay.
Yep.
So then you get loaded,
Mm-hmm.
and you got your paperwork,
Yep.
and if you get lucky, you get a good stop.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So how do you figure out? Do you stop then and try to map out your route? I mean, how do you figure out what route you're going to take?
I try to figure that out while I'm loading.
Okay.
You know, while I'm doing all of my paperwork, and I'm looking at routes to take, time of day, which route that I know is going to be better than the other one. You know, because going to Chicago from Wisconsin, you can take the normal route. It's not ideal to do that. Sometimes you got to take an alternative route to beat the traffic. You know.
Right.
So, and it may put you out the way by 10 miles, you know, but you're being more proficient in my book like that.
By doing that. Are you using a GPS on your phone to figure it out, or are you actually using a paper map?
No, GPS.
GPS?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever use that GPS on your PeopleNet?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have your own separate GPS system?
No.
Because some of the guys will run
Some
with
do
a,
that,
I
yep.
think it's a Garmin that
A
they'll put in there.
Garmin, a Randy McNally is good also.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I used to.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I know the Midwest.
Yeah.
So
you kind of know where you're going already, and
yeah,
you can punch it in, and it's going to tell you how to go. But sometimes you take a different route.
exactly.
Do you turn the volume down so it doesn't beep at you?
No.
Telling you you're going in the wrong spot.
I got to mute it sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm going to drive through downtown at 8 o'clock.
Right.
I got to take an alternative route.
Yeah.
Especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
So.
And you're hauling hazmat, right? Which means you got to have hazmat routing. So you can't just pull up Google Maps and
that's right.
use that.
Because Google Maps only do it for a car.
Right.
No trucks.
Right.
But I know the terrain. I know the highways. So it's a little easier for me to maneuver.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, I just know where to go.
Okay. So as you're traveling, though, you got to have in the back of your mind, okay, do you have your fuel during your trip or before your trip?
Mm-hmm.
Do you usually do it at a specific time?
Well, depending on the route.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going somewhere short, I will save. And then I got to look at which place is cheaper.
Okay.
Do I want the $3.29, or do I want to travel to Chicago, anywhere up in that area, and get it at $3.69, $3.89? I don't like that. So, you know, it just depends on.
But you probably already know which truck stops have the cheapest fuel.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Not necessarily, because they change every day. You know, they're just rates.
Yeah. So how do you figure it out? You just kind of watch it?
Yeah. A lot of apps.
Okay.
You know, yeah. I go on Love's app, Pilot app. You know, sometimes I just Google it as well.
I didn't know you could Google that.
Mm-hmm.
You can Google the price of fuel?
Yeah. Like the price of fuel up in Rockford. Yeah, like it'll pop up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I normally just shop at Love's anyway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because of the point system.
Yep, points. Yep.
Yeah, that's what.
Points, and it's a newer truck stop, so it's a lot cleaner.
Yes.
So I like it like that too. So
Yeah.
TAs and Petros, them things been around forever. They're outdated.
Yeah.
Pilot, yeah, but Love's tends to be a little cleaner. I like it.
Yeah. I suppose For me, I don't think I could ever be a truck driver because I don't think I could use those showers, and I have to have a shower every day.
I sanitize. I sanitize like crazy.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got 2 cans of Lysol, and when I go in the bathroom there,
Yeah.
oh, I just go crazy.
I just could not
I
do
go
it.
bananas. You know, I just spray everything.
Yeah.
You know, even the toilet paper. I Lysol that sometimes. Just really the shower head.
Do you
everything.
like the truck stops versus the, what are those, rest areas? You probably don't even have rest areas over there.
We do. I don't. Yeah.
You don't mess with that.
No, I don't like.
Okay.
Them things never clean.
Yeah, that's true.
Never clean.
I would agree. All right. I'm going back to loading because I
Okay.
do have another question.
Okay.
Do you ever overload? Do you ever get into a situation where you've overloaded your trailer?
No. I never overloaded a trailer, but it has happened when it was a automatic shutdown.
Shut off.
Right.
Right.
So when that happens, that you just blow it all off. You know, you got to leave some vent open for probably like 5 minutes.
Do you have to go to a specific area of the plant?
No.
Plant manager just lets you vent it right there on the
Vent it
scale.
right there. Yep.
Okay. Have you ever had problems with loading that you can think of?
Problems with loading?
So I throw that out there because we had one instance where the driver who was loading was having a problem and went in to shut it off and hit the plant shut off button instead. Shut the entire plant down. And sometimes things like that happen, you know, when you're out there. I mean, it's not intentional. Do you know what I mean? But
right.
you're like, oh shit, now what do I do?
Yep.
Right? So anyways.
He got in trouble for that?
Yeah, he got in trouble. You know, but it wasn't intentional. And I think sometimes people underestimate the value of a reputation, right? If they know that you're a good driver and they know that you do a good job and that you know, you're conscientious and you're trying to do the right thing, I think that goes a long way. I think sometimes too in our industry, we tend to overreact, you know, and, you know, I think sometimes you have to get 2 sides to the story before you do that. And I think we forget that.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's hazmat. I don't know. Maybe because it's trucking. But we tend to be very unforgiving sometimes to drivers. And it's one of the things I try to coach people not to do. So, anyways.
And that's why that we love working here.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, so a couple other things. So you get fuel. You have to do your 30-minute break somewhere along the way. Are you thinking about that when you're driving? Where you're going to do that, or?
Yeah.
And particularly in Chicago, are you thinking about where you're going to stop for the night?
Anywhere outside of Chicago. I can't stay nowhere in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just is nowhere to go.
Right.
So, I try to leave myself an out, you know.
Okay.
So I try to schedule my runs, my routes, and that's part of the reason why I like to get up so early, so I can go ahead and try to knock that one out, and then I can make it to a rest area before it's all crowded, you know, packed and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a method to my madness.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as food goes, yeah, I don't. You know, I just eat in the truck.
Okay.
Sandwiches. A deli meat is my best friend. So yeah. I love me some deli meat. A Sara Lee.
Yeah.
Smoked honey turkey. Yes.
That's your favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. With the Sara Lee bread.
All right. We'll talk about food in a little bit.
Okay.
So you get to the customer, the final end customer, right? What do you do then? If it's a place that you're familiar with, you probably know the lay of the land, but what if it isn't?
If I see anybody,
Okay.
out there. I always ask them how would they like me to park and make sure I'm not blocking nobody. You
Okay.
know, a lot of times that these tanks be in parking lots and they have a spotter truck, moving trailers and all that. So that's the guy who I would try to normally talk to try to figure out, hey, how you want me parked so I'm not blocking you. And he's pretty cool. You know, he'll
Okay.
tell you
Yeah.
because it makes his job easier. And then, I just take my time, set my cones out, wheel chalk, you know, make sure that I'm doing my job correctly,
Okay.
looking
Usually
at
you
the
have to back
pressures.
up to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to set them cones out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to set them cones out.
Okay. So then you hook up the hoses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get everything all set up, and you start unloading.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you know when you're empty?
The trailer will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Is it the gauge at
they
the
also
back?
got a gauge. Yep.
Okay.
And they also have a gauge on the customer.
Okay.
So if I gave them close to 40,000 pounds, then I know I'm right there.
Okay.
If they're pulling, that you can just set your watch to it to a good hour pumping off. You should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pulling, most people don't know what that means. So what do you mean by that?
Withdrawing the product from their tank.
So they're drawing the product in the tank as you're putting it in.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to gauge then
It
how
is.
much you delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do the meters normally work on the trailers?
Meters, if you have one,
Okay.
they do.
Okay.
They do. But the gauges help me out more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gauge
I
is
like the
your best
gauges.
friend.
Yep. Gauges help me out a lot more.
So we have trailers that are mechanical, right? You're using a LGT trailer right now. Is that right? Or using an Air Products trailer? Which one?
Air Products.
Okay.
I love my LGT trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, whoever got C003, I want it back.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that trailer.
So it has a pony motor on it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one of the things that happens with anything that's mechanical is, it doesn't work, won't start, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do then?
I call Christian because it happened to me twice. Christian, my best friend, And no, but your team here are just great. From the maintenance to the dispatching, every time I call, it's like help is on the way.
Okay.
So yeah, so I never have a problem.
Yeah.
And if it happens, that's just the nature of the business.
Yeah.
A machine's break, so expect it. Everybody knows it. Everybody. It's kind of like a driver catching a flat tire. It's just going to happen, and you're just going to have to just wait it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no big deal.
And so, do you have an LGT truck? I think you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it brand new when you got it?
Brand new. Yeah. 30 miles on it.
Got 30 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I got
Empty.
close to 50
no
right
fuel
now.
When you picked
Right.
it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, have you had your truck break down?
No.
Not once.
Not once.
Wow.
Not once.
That's amazing.
Maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's talk about maintenance. You have to do oil changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, where do you decide to take that? Do you have a place that you'd like to go to, or?
You know what? I told a couple of drivers that my next oil change, I think I'm gonna take it to Peterbilt.
Okay. And why is that?
Because they specialize up in Pete's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to look at truck stops like Love's or Petra's or TA's. This, they're kind of like a Jiffy Lube.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want somebody to work, because I got a Lexus at my house.
Oh, okay.
And I don't take it to that. I take it back to the dealership.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I guess that I should start treating my truck like that too. So I'm gonna take it back to Pete just to see. My first time.
Yeah. Is this your first time as an owner-operator?
Yes.
Yeah. And before you worked as a company driver.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you decide to take the leap?
That's a good question. It was just time. It was time. Try to be your own boss a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Do you see a big difference now that you've done it?
I do. I'm never going back to a company.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you didn't ask me that, but I'm never going back.
So why would that be? What is it that what's the biggest difference you see?
You got more freedom. You got more say so, I guess.
Okay.
You don't have nobody just breathing over your neck.
When you gonna come back? When you gonna go home?
Yeah.
You got X number of days.
That trip got to be done or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I just. Yeah. It was time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was time. Nobody's watching you like that. Cameras.
Yeah. Cameras are a big thing, aren't they?
Yeah. Cameras. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was thinking about, okay, what are the things that happen in the day of a life of a truck driver?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking way stations, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are those like?
Well, they typically open. Some of them, a lot of them, like 80% of them, open
Okay.
up around 6 or later.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to ease by there when I start at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But as far as it depends. It depends. Me being from Chicago, I know that when it comes to tanker, that they look at the overall weight, not the axle weight.
Okay.
Especially like on I-55. Overall weight. They don't care about the axle. So I know the area. But just, for the most part, I just try to just keep it within the guidelines. I know I can go a little bit heavier on my drives.
Uh-huh.
But not on a trailer.
So you have a pre-pass, right,
Mm-hmm.
in your truck?
Mm-hmm.
And the pre-pass goes green if you bypass it, and it goes red if you're supposed to go in.
Right.
So it's red, you pull in there, and you get in line. They bring you onto the scale and they weigh you. Is that usually all there is to it?
Yep.
And then they wave you on and you go?
You either get the green light or you get that voice over the intercom saying, driver, pull around back and bring your paperwork in.
Okay.
That's when you know.
That you're in trouble?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when you know. And those are the words that you don't want to hear.
Okay.
Is driver, pull around back.
So, in your time at LGT or even before, have you had a DOT inspection?
Nope. Never.
Never.
Never had a DOT inspection since I've been here.
Okay.
And the light never turned red on me. On my pre-pass.
So you've never gone through a DOT inspection ever?
Here?
Like, no, anywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh. Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
wow, are you one lucky duck,
Yeah.
right?
A whole lot of them. Probably like 2 or 3 in a year.
Yeah, so you're in the back, you see your lights flashing, and then you got to pull over.
Yeah, you got to pull over. I've been DOT'd on the side of a highway, you know.
And so how does that go? What do you do during a DOT inspection?
You just try to just do what they ask you to do, My main thing is to make sure before I leave that I'm okay and I will pass.
Okay.
That's my main concern. Before that truck leave any lot, I make sure that I'm going to be okay just in case everything goes bad. But as far as the DOT goes, basically that they just make sure that there's no visible air leaks or hearing it,
Okay.
and all the lights working,
Okay.
If that...
Do you ever have the guys that get under the truck and...
I had that too.
Yeah.
Slack adjusters and brake pad width and all of that. Yeah. So, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. If you keep up on your maintenance.
Okay.
And again, that is the difference between you working for a company and you doing the owner op because you get to control your maintenance now.
Yeah.
And yeah, matter of fact, that is the main difference. That you're not at the mercy of a company to just be like, hey, it's okay, just take the truck, you know?
Right.
So,
Huh.
yeah.
I never thought about that one either.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I always think about it. You know, it's definitely a cash flow issue, right? But I've always thought about it as, you know, if I were going to do it, I'd be an owner operator because I feel like I could have the say, right? I can say when I start my day. I can say when I end it. I can say when I go home. I can say when I come back. If I don't want the load, I can turn it down. And those are all things that I would want. I wouldn't want somebody telling me, you got to take that load. And it's...
Yeah.
So one of the things that happens in CO2 is some of the facilities that you go to unload at are terrible.
Right.
So what do you do with things like that? I mean, how do you handle that?
You mean with the smell and
yes,
just
the smell
things just
and...
laying down on the ground and all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, luckily that we're in a pandemic and I can wear a mask to try to mask some of the smell, you know?
Yeah.
And
how do you keep it from getting on your clothes, right?
Febreze.
Yeah?
Yeah, you gotta Febreze. You gotta Febreze everything. But yeah, I mean...
Have you ever refused to go someplace?
No.
You know you can't.
Oh, no. Know what? Once I did.
Okay.
Once. And that was because I knew the time of day it was and my truck was going to run into all type of problems. You know, they wanted me to go to like the north side of Chicago or something like that.
Okay.
And it was like, no. This time of day, I know, you know.
Yeah.
So, Wrigleyville area, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, let's talk about food. Yeah. So you take all your food, you pack it up during the week? Because most of the time you go home on your 34?
Yes.
Okay. So every Sunday you pack up?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I try. I try to do some meal preppings and all of that, you know.
Okay.
It's a restaurant by my house that does meal preps. So I just started getting into that. But like I said, chips and sandwich meat, that's
your go-to.
Yeah, that's my go-to. And crackers and peanut butter. Oh, I love it.
Really?
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Crunchy or smooth?
Oh, crunchy.
Absolutely.
I gotta have the crunchy.
Yeah, fruits and vegetables? Throw a few of those in?
Fruits, I get the cuties. I think that's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Cuties.
Yeah.
And I make smoothies too.
In the truck?
Yep. I got my little Ninja, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do it. You know, and then I got my Wham Whams and Zuzus, you know. I got my chips and my little candy and all that. So I can just reach over and just get it. I love Almond Joys.
You're kidding.
Oh, I love Almond Joys. I love Almond Joys.
Okay.
Yeah. You like Almond Joys?
No, I don't. No? I don't. But I don't like Mounds either.
No.
Yeah, which are kind of, they go hand in hand.
Now Mounds are the ones without the nut in it, right? I think.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't like Mounds either.
Huh.
The Almond Joys.
Yeah.
The blue pack.
Right.
There you go.
Do you ever stop and eat in a restaurant?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Vaguely. And that's only if I want some breakfast. You know. But when it comes to eating and all, no.
Okay. So do you normally work a 6-day week?
A 6-day week? Yeah. From Sunday to Friday. That's what I like right there.
So you leave out Sunday morning?
Yep.
And you just have one day off?
Yeah, well, I get off work early enough on Friday.
Okay.
So I can still enjoy my Friday, all of my Saturday.
Okay.
And then I go back on Sunday.
At 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. Well, Sunday, since it's a Sunday, and I know I'm coming off of a reset.
Yes.
I start like a 4.
Okay.
4 o'clock on Sunday, because I know they only gonna get one out of me on that day.
Yeah. So, what are your long-term career goals? Have you thought about that?
I have thought about it. Long-term career goals,
Yes.
as far as trucking goes, or
Yeah.
or just period.
It could be anything. I mean, because here you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've gone from just starting your trucking career to working your way up to company driver. You actually worked for a very large industrial gas company,
Mm-hmm.
and then you came over to LGT
Mm-hmm.
as an owner operator. So you've been
Mm-hmm.
making that a gradual career path,
Mm-hmm.
and so it seems logical that you would have more aspirations. So what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
Um, Thoughts about it. I like real estate.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I like real estate.
Okay.
You know, I make sure that I invest a little bit every uh, week or two.
Okay.
So I do that on a consistent basis,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want my money just to work for me.
Okay.
You know, instead of me working so hard for it.
Right.
So that's my biggest transition right now.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, I think that's awesome.
thank you.
Thinking ahead, and
Yeah,
I think that everybody always says, "What's that?" Um, for as far as money goes, you pay yourself first, right?
yeah,
And then you pay your bills,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah. I can't do that right
yeah, you'll get there.
now. Yeah, I pay the bills, but yeah, yeah. I definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
You got to pay yourself first.
Yeah. So, that's really all the questions that I have for today. Do you have any questions for me?
I was nervous.
Yeah, you did great.
Really?
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. You're awesome.
And I'm a star overnight, huh?
Yeah, you could do your own podcast.
Oh no, no, no. I'm gonna leave it to the professionals.
Well, I
I'm gonna
really
leave it to.
appreciate your willingness to do that and to share with the listeners who are going to hear you.
Okay.
And I actually appreciate getting to know you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Driver Stories. If you like the podcast, be sure to download and subscribe on all your favorite podcast apps. If you want more information about me or LGT, visit our website at lgttransport.com. Follow us on social media where we post new content every day. Again, I want to thank Al Washington for joining us today, and stay tuned for the next episode coming next month.